I've seen people take literally everything on the Chen so far at this point. I think Centaur has the highest win rate across the board, but he's going to go for the Hellbear. But I've seen players even do the Troll, so interesting.
All right, well, we'll see how much he's able to do with the Chen in lane early on. Yeah, if it's indeed going to give them that strong presence and ability to get the farm in.
Yeah, because it's cool, because this one gives you attack speed, right? So
yeah, decent amount, right?
It scales up. It's 15 at the start. It's like almost a gloves of haste, so that can be pretty cool. The suicide thing, I don't think I've ever seen people use the death throw, but maybe there's some potential. I've not gotten to see enough Chen to see how much this can actually do, so looking forward to see this one of this matchup. And I think for me and you in particular, I think we're hoping to see something out of these Warlocks, because we have casted 4 or 6 Warlock games, and it's lost every single. It's gotten destroyed every game we casted.
No, it's actually everyone that we cast in
every
those
single one.
Oh,
Not one had a good game.
Poor old Ollie. Good luck to him.
So
indeed, we've casted a lot of Warlock, and we've been quite the curse for the poor old Warlock. So we'll see, because outside of the games that we've seen, like this hero, there's a reason why a lot of people are playing it, right?
Absolutely, and he's got Ember and he's got Gyro. So Fatal Bonds absolutely can see the success with it, especially in laning phase 2 with Gyro. You just Fatal Bond, flag, shove the wave out, can have success. We'll have to talk about the dispels, of course, once the mid game hits. You know, Kezu did bring it up. Brewmaster is very good versus Warlock in a lot of situations because of the, the dispel on the Fatal Bonds for your allies, but also the Golem, etc. So, yeah, we'll have to see how it all plays out after these lanes. Let's see, here we go.
All right, we go indeed in the mid lane. Let's see how Orion the Tiny's going to do against Lorodoff on the Ember. I mean, how does this matchup normally go down nowadays with Ember Spirit as they are?
I think I've seen most of the Embers actually handle. Sometimes I see that the Tinys get a couple extra denies, right, just because of that base damage advantage, but I've seen some of these Embers just because you get the double slights and stuff. Tiny is like a 0 armor hero, so I've seen these Embers do a lot better than I'd anticipated. And overall, I mean, Lorodoff has been, honestly, he's been a beast. Really enjoy watching them play.
And that's top lane. So in terms of the lane, at least, with this Warlock Gyro combo, should 23 have a pretty easy time farming, or will pressure be applied on pretty early by this Brew back combo from Bark and FY?
That's a good question. I'm just uncertain because I just haven't, me and you just haven't seen these Warlocks have a good time, and this is a very aggressive lane that they've got.
It does feel like surely when the Brew and the Bat want to go on one of these heroes, they're going to go on one of these heroes.
But so the concept is, though, that they're going to constantly shove the waves out, right? So they're going to Fatal Bonds plus Flak. But yeah, if he gets out of position, I do see 23 perhaps just dying. So we'll have to see if that does end up going down.
See how well Ollie can keep him safe up here.
Yeah.
Nice bottom lane jabs, backed up by Q. And yeah, what do you sort of make of this lane? Tianming and Low. Is this a lane where the Morph's going to be able to farm? We're seeing Tianming in trouble here as the cogs come down. And that will be first blood. So good stuff to start off here. Jabs and Q getting in on top of the Chen, taking him down.
It can be a volatile lane. That's what I was kind of going to say. I think this is the most important one probably to look at for the early game, because if this Morphling just gets absolute free farm, he can just run away with it. But if Jabs has a good game, he's the answer for the Morph. You can itemize as well. I've seen in the past, the phase Orchid build that some people used to do. But yeah, you can just run him down. I thought maybe because the Clockwork, it could, they might not be able to apply as much pressure onto the Morphling, but we'll have to see how those cogs come in. So far, that bottom lane Jabs, he is free farming, so the Chen not able to slow him down right now.
At 23, so he's doing fantastic.
Yep.
Having no trouble getting the CSA 11-4 against just the 6-1 that Bark's been able to get out of that lane so far.
And Ollie's actually doing something really cool that I'm seeing. Since you are going to just get experience no matter what as Warlock nowadays with the new Black Grimoire, he's just giving a lot of solo XP to 23. So this was now a level 1 Warlock with a level 3 Gyro. So if they actually went aggro on the Gyro, he could just double, level 2 Rocket Barrage.
Bottom lane again.
Bottom again.
Really good stuff here from Q and Jabs each and every time. They know as soon as Tianming stepped too far up the lane, they're straight in on top of him. And they know that they can run him down before he can get back to the safety of his tower. So 2 times back to back. I mean, that's not what you want, right? When you draft this Chen, to have him just dying twice in the lane, Low ain't going to be happy.
No. I feel like Q does this a lot. I don't know. Whenever I see him playing like his Clockworks and Tinies, he just makes so much stuff happen early on. He's going to have an urn very early. So potential for this Vessel even could be there. We saw how good that Vessel was on a Pango core when he was playing versus like a Tiny and stuff. If he's able to get it early versus Tiny and a Morph core, could be pretty huge for Q. Of course, that's ways away, but having these first like 5 waves go successful for this Slardar down here does say quite a lot to how much they're going to build the pressure the Morphling.
Sure. Like, at least for low, he's farming, and you know, inadvertently, he's sort of getting the same treatment that 23 is on the other half, because he's not having his XP sapped by his support. Unfortunately for him, it's because his support's dead, rather than tactically staying outside of the XP range. But you know, this is a morph that's getting levels, as well as free farm. So both carries actually ending up in sort of like a similar situation with their lane setup.
No, that is absolutely true. But then the Morphling's like, dude, now this Slardar has boots. Like, thanks.
True, the pressure on the offlaner is a little different, as indeed as we can see. Jabs, they are 18 for 6 on the other side of the map, 15 and 1. So Jab's still able to take a bit away compared to what Buck's able to do pressure-wise against 23 in this lane.
Yeah, and they haven't been able to touch 23 because the wave is just literally non-stop shoved. And if they do want to go from, it's level 2 barrage, which is very potent versus both these heroes that need to get on top of you. FY also did not go sticky, which is the usual thing you see on a lot of these 4 Bat Riders. Level 2, you usually see them get the flame break, so it's got more of a greedy route on this Bat Rider. So yeah, gyro free farming. So 2 lanes going super well. We see the Tiny has those extra denies, but Lornoff's holding his own. 22-7 to 23-8. Pretty much identical.
Yeah, how would you sort of rate the ability for these two mids to rotate and make plays? Does
They're
it
both
become,
top tier.
Is it pretty similar? Do you feel like if one turns up to a side lane, very likely the other one's going to be there as well?
Yeah, very, very much so. They both probably are 2 of the best gankers, I feel like, on side lanes in the moment. Just so much damage potential.
Lane,
They're on him.
They're really trying to go for 23, but they take a lot of damage for that effort, and they won't succeed. Meanwhile, down on the bottom lane, now see Tianming take out Jabs, but Q in return will get the kill. They're going to see if they can get low as well, but he's shifting up, and they don't really have much more burst to play with. They drop a Shadow Word and an Urn Charge down onto him.
Q's on him.
I mean, there's no more strength to shift into, but the waveform is back up. And Q, he's not going to have it.
He's chasing.
I mean, he's not getting. Is he actually getting this?
Can he get them in the cogs?
Dive the tower. I mean, either way, the creep wave would have been back, so it would have been hard. So he won't get him. Low's able to survive. But this time around, at least for Chanming, he'll take that right. They got the kill in the trade.
That was still huge, though. Urn charges, like, you can just see how aggressive they're playing down bottom with this Clockwork Slardar lane. Getting a lot done. They forced the Morphling out of the lane. And now he's going to be able to check the power rune as well for Lornoff. Unfortunately, it will spawn top, so either way, though, Q, amazing moves so far in this early game. 3-0. It's been able to set that early pace to enable that Slardar to just have this great start. Morph, of course, farming pretty well, but he would be so much further ahead and the Slardar behind if it wasn't this Clockwork doing so much work. FY? Ori. They're bringing Ori.
Yeah, just able to make a nice, easy walk up towards the top lane. 23. Going to get caught by surprise by that, and nothing that Ollie can do on the Warlock to hold these 3 back. So they'll finally be able to take 23 down, which they did need to do, because, yeah, 23 was having a pretty chill time up here.
Yeah, Lornoff, not quite enough mana. It looked like he was considering maybe TPing, but he was a little bit less than like half mana, so can't actually react this time around since he didn't have the rune. Bach, almost level 6.
I mean, Ori's ready to go for another. Ollie as well knows it's likely that Ollie's hanging around in the tree line, but TPs are coming in. You say Lornoff's been able to take the time to walk up it. 23 back in action, and they'll just go straight away for the Tiny.
Damage.
And with the combo, Ori's going to opt for the TP out. They got the damage to kill him off before he's away. They don't.
What a TP.
Ori makes it back to the fountain. He'll survive.
Very nicely done. He did the math.
And that looked like, very close. I mean, he didn't stay around a moment longer than he needed to there. No. Sticking around to the point where the respawn came in for 23. It looked like he overstayed his welcome, but he didn't. He knew what he was doing. He gets out alive.
Low, though, is completely pushed out of the lane. So this is kind of an issue. The Gyro is able to get a good amount more levels, good amount more farm now, to be able to accelerate a bit faster. And Jabs, he's got pretty much the ideal items versus this Morphling. He's got his treads, he's got his corrosion double bracer, so not really a place where the Morph wants to come back to.
No, not at all.
So yeah, this lane in particular, I highlighted how important, for me at least, I thought it was, and so far it's looking real good for Aurora because of that.
Sure. And you say just what overall for a Slardar in this sort of game, he's one of the keys to being able to deal with the Morph. So the fact that he's having this good start bodes pretty well for Aurora in the long term this game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Obviously, never really a game where they can want to, slow down the pace of anything or like chill back or anything. They're playing versus a Morphling when they have Gyro and Ember, so still always, of course, going to want to be playing very, very pressure-based. And they do have great ways to take objectives. Slardar's always going to give you extra Roche, and he's just going to rush the Blink, so not going to be an Orchid route, nothing like that, since he, of course, is going to be like a Manta eventually, but I have seen that one in the past. People just kind of started diverting away from it.
I mean, sort of with the way that this early game's gone, what's the plan for like Tianming on the Chen? You know, after the lane's gone as it's
Good
gone,
question.
you're kind of far behind. What do you do from as a Chen playing from this sort of point, level 4? What kind of impact can you apply?
I mean, it's a good question. I think he just has to farm a little bit, because that's something you don't want to fall behind too much here as a Sven, or as a Chen in the farm department, because this hero it farms very fast, you know?
Sure.
That's one of the things that we always did see when it was picked a lot. He's just getting hunted, though. It's the issue.
Cute. He's in with the setup and jabs. He is going to be able to head over with the follow-up, or he's going to be in town, though, to make sure that they don't get an easy chance to take down Tianming this time. Avalanche momentarily hold them back.
Lorinov has a haste. He's going to try to connect.
Or is he heading over?
Under the tower, though.
He's not going to dive that. Again, not quite having the full amount of mana that he may have liked to be able to play around with.
And Lorinov's just doing standard build. Mage Slayer probably into that Maelstrom / Gleipnir eventually. But yeah, the Mage Slayer is going to be very, very effective this game versus the Tiny versus Morph and Batrider early. Kind of chunks down their effectiveness of damage a lot on the side of Azure, so.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And once the fights do kick off, where the Ember and the Gyro are turning up, pretty much the two best cores, I'd say, to really have a scaling damage output that works so fantastically with Fatal Bonds.
Fatal Bonds, yes,
Sleight of
exactly.
Fist and Flat Cannon doesn't really get much better than that with the Fatal Bonds.
No. Some stacks going to be worked on. FY, 3 points in that Firefly. We'll start to clear those up with Ori. Blink Dagger going to be pretty close after that's finished up, so can look to accelerate things, but at the same time, jabs, he's going to have his, from the off lane, probably at a similar pace as that mid-Tiny, which is
that's
ridiculous.
Pretty wild. Yeah, this farm that jabs has had. And a lot of it, as you say, down to those early quick moves from Q.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I feel like he does this so much. I'm always so impressed with the support. You know, Q and Ollie, these two guys just always impress. Ollie hasn't died either. You know, we were talking about the Warlock having like trouble and stuff like that. He's actually just chilling.
I mean, that's the thing. Maybe Ollie is just that good enough of a Warlock player that he's going to break the curse that we seem to be putting on all these games that we cast with Warlock on.
He does have a. I mean, I do feel like he has a much better draft built around it too. Like you said, like the Ember, the Gyro, the lane in particular, and everything too. And now that lane is, I mean, the lane is done. You know, laning phase is all gone. He hasn't died. The Gyro got killed once, but that was from a rotation from the Tiny. So it's good stuff.
Should be getting his 6 as well from this. Oh, no, he's halfway through 5. So still a while to go for the 6. So might get the freedom to pick up some XP around the mid if Lorinov starts to head elsewhere on the map, make some moves.
Dire's middle tower.
How many charges do you think he'll wait for to consume the Grimoire?
I don't know. I don't know what sort of the Grimoire strats are at the moment. What sort of the? How long do you wait?
I think you just when kills just when the team fights just start flurrying. I think you wait a little bit. If you just start winning those team fights, then yeah, you keep it. Because right now, it's 2 to 3. There's very little kills going on. You definitely don't want to pop this
You're not
thing.
in a rush to do it right now.
Nah.
You're totally fine with the position and the progress you're making.
Yep. One toss. Goodbye. Creep wave. Gotta love it.
No, on this creep wave, we'll give him the 6. So Ollie can now look to try and make some moves. Has that smoke if they do want to try and make a quick play with the Golem.
I usually like it more as like a counter initiation kind of thing, but if they can look for a setup to pop a Morphling, that could be fantastic. Since they do, I believe... Okay, 200 gold. Jabs has the blink. Ori has his blink finished up, so could look to make some plays early on.
Solo. I mean, they try to go for him, the two of them. We'll see if they do succeed. The Golem has been dropped. 23 still stepping away. I mean,
he's killing it.
He's surviving, but
he killed it.
He's dead as well. Ollie. They try and kill 23, and then Ollie turns over the back. I mean, before Ollie was there, 23 had already been able to deal with one of them on his own, dealt with FY. But indeed, Ollie turning up, making sure that 23 is able to deal with Bark as well.
That was sick. I love it, the counter initiation. That's the way you want to have your Warlock come in. He jumps in, boom, drops the hammer right on top of them, and then it gets cleaned up. That AoE damage from Gyro, it's enough. That's huge. 23's level 11.
He's getting so much, yeah. Level 11 compared to the level 9. Over 2 level difference, basically, when you look at the actual XP status of both of them. Yeah, 23, a huge lead on the Gyro.
Hey, they're playing this super nice. Lorinov has a regen rune too. They're looking to hit again. They've got the hook shot available. I mean, FY is being incredibly greedy here.
And it's an easy hook shot, Q. He's not going to miss them.
And they're stealing
They can take the rest of this. Absolutely.
Q? Ooh. Nice little Lotus from one of his buddies who was actually burning to the Firefly, it looked like, and they actually saved him. I think that was Jabs that gave it to him. Jabs' blink is done. Orbital Corrosion. He sees low come back to the lane. This is the first time the Morphling has come back. Immediately goes right back to him. And the Morph has to just leave the lane right away.
Really good stuff so far from Aurora.
Yeah, very nice.
I think you look at AZURE, it's going to be kind of eyes on Ollie to make something happen. He's the one with the farm, one with the quick blink dagger timing on their team. But as we've seen, they've got to do something much more coordinated if they want to take down 23 Savage's Gyro. Just the two of them, FY and Bark, it's to the point now where they can't make those plays. They need Ollie to join them. I
honestly don't even think that they should really go for it. I think they're going to have to bring like 5 heroes or 4 heroes to bring down this Gyro, because he's going to have his Aghanims finished up pretty soon. So I might have to look to pressure elsewhere. Ori,
they're chasing him down. So if they have quite enough damage, no, there'll be a toss as well to throw Lorinoff away.
Still chasing.
He's closing in though, and he's able to get close enough to jump the gap with the blink dagger. Ori's getting back up.
There's the chains.
Nice move from Low indeed, turning his the Ember Spirit, using the chains against him, and with the lasso on towards Jabs, they will get the two of them.
Neutral.
Oh, okay, I don't know. How the heck did the neutral get the kill out of all of that? There's 4 heroes there.
The slight, it griefed him.
Wait, what can we get? I want to get a replay on that. What was the instance of damage that killed him there? There's 4 heroes hitting him.
Didn't see which one it was. I think it was the wild one. I didn't even see which one it was.
They only technically get the one of the two of them. Still, though, Low obviously turning up and indeed already showing us the potential of being this morph against the Ember. Very nice chain play. As it did indeed, it was taking them quite a long time to take Ori down here. That's what did, of course, cause the rest of the team to be able to turn up and make such smooth moves. Low into the Ember, slight chains against them. They at least get one of them, but indeed Jabs. There's 4 heroes.
I see a Centaur hitting him, and now is it the Centaur? It's the Wild Wing.
It's the Wild Wing.
The Wild Wing.
Comes in with his beak with that final jab to take down Jabs.
Nice.
And indeed deny the kill away from AZURE.
Which is a big deal. Yeah. It is a big deal.
That would have been a lot of money. If Low was able to get the both of them, I mean, already, he's recovering, he's now up there. Really closing the gap, at least on everyone apart from the Gyro. The problem is 23 Savage is just that far ahead right now.
He's out of
level
control.
14, the level gap continues to grow. So now 3 levels ahead of the Morphling. Yeah, this Gyro is an absolute issue.
He's an issue, and he's got Fatal Bonds behind him at all times too. So the damage will be there. It will be ridiculous if they're able to get the connections there. So
also got the Corrosive Haze. Somebody's going to die. Potentially everybody's going to die when 23 turns up.
So, I mean, pretty much for AZURE in most of these situations, I know the panel was talking about as well too, is they're going to have to like insta-kill, right? In a lot of these situations, whoever they go for with their initial go, either with the Bat Rider or with the Tiny, they need to insta-kill this hero for it to be successful, especially with now Aurora getting this nice lead for themselves, and they've got Golem available too for the counter initiation. That is some honestly, this might be some of the faster timings.
I feel like 23 does this some games. When he gets a good start on his carry heroes, he's normally breaking records.
Yeah.
And as you said, what you were going to say, this one must be pretty close to it.
It's close.
Yeah, coming up to 10k net worth, 16 minutes in, and Ags, Chrysalis, Falcon Blade.
Like sometimes you see the Treads, Falcon Blade, and the Axe now, not the Chrysalis on top. I feel like they can look for his fights right now pretty well around him. He's got 2,200 HP as well, so bursting him with Tiny Morphling, not easy. Radiance is done for the Brewmaster. All right. But they can kill this Brew Split pretty easy, as we saw even just before.
Yeah, absolutely. The Split will die. If 23 is around, but cannot fight.
Yeah. Honestly, Jabs, they all do tons of physical damage to it, so definitely could see that struggle. They're actually just looking for the rush.
Why not?
Level 2 Corrosive is online.
Yeah, they've got the damage. They'll be able to do this very quickly, and not only that, it's just going to be at a time that AZURE... Okay, they will scan it, so they were expecting it, but I don't think they're going to be able to do anything about it. Look how quickly this Roche dies, 17 minutes in. Just indeed, as you said, due to the composition and how farmed 23's Gyro is. So that is it. Aegis picked up, 17 minutes in. Let's see what Aurora's able to get done with this.
AZURE's just trying to pressure in the meantime. Since they know that was going on, they took out the mid tower with the Chen creeps, looking to just kind of cut some creeps as well too from FY. But let's see how they're going to deal with this. Yeah, this Gyrocopter. As you said, Morph is starting to look a lot better here, but
it's catching up. But
we'll have to see.
We're going to see what they can do about it. Well, format, does Q want to go for this? He doesn't.
Jabs.
Okay, he does. He's going to try with a hook shot. They are going to try and go in for this one. Q is able to step back as well. They drop the Golem down. They'll jump over towards taking out FY first. Waveform's back up once again for Low, so he'll continue to create the distance. And indeed, Aurora, they won't be able to continue that chase. So just taking out FY. Good retreat there from AZURE. So still seeing, obviously, the Morphling. Very tricky to catch.
Especially now that he's got the Manta done. Golem was used. So it does have to get used to kind of like protect them a little bit there, trying to get some extra kills. They'll get the bat, as you said. I like jabs that he jumped the bat there, to be honest. I thought that was pretty good separate jump, because otherwise he gets comboed as well from the tiny, so. Not the ideal. They get something out of it. Jabs, BKB getting closer and closer. Do they look to make any type of play here while Golem is on cooldown? I mean, FY, his Nasso's still CD. Not really that easy for him to go for anything either. But they're starting to get some farm back. So, yeah, now I guess that was the thing for the Chen, right? Just start getting your farm in. He is starting to recover pretty nicely. I believe the Greaves are finished. I think they're coming. Oh, no, they're not just yet. Sorry. Just the mech. Apologies.
Looking for action, though, AZURE Ori. With the Invisor in, trying to get information. They're looking at low, Aurora.
He's far up.
And 23 is ready to get very involved in any sort of move that they continue to make. Still hard to get on top of this morph. Low.
Smoke again, looking to catch. And this could be a really nice read if they kind of just expect him to TP out of the bottom area. I saw that line drawn. So they might just have a perfect read. They see the tiny.
Hard to catch him though.
It's on the power rune. Jabs might just look for it.
Oh. Trading away with the bash, make sure that he's able to take that arcane rune away from him as well.
Nicely done from Jabs. Oh, whoever made that call, that was very, very cool. Instant smoke after they don't find an individual catch, and they know that they're making the move up there. So that was some heads-up stuff there as they're able to even pressure now the mid tower too.
Yeah. And I imagine that sort of play is just going to do them well multiple times, right? This sort of idea of just go towards the morph, try and scare the morph, try and scare the team into maybe bringing in some sort of reaction to back up the morph, and then immediately just look to make the play elsewhere.
Yeah, it's really cool. I love when I see these type of sweeps of the map. You know, it's just like you start one way and then boom, just sweep across. You eventually will catch something, and they will, and now they do get, of course, that Tormentor, and it's a good shard. See, this is one of the... Honestly, I like the Clockwork one a bit too, but this is probably a little bit better this game just because of the positioning that he can convey. And so far, it's been a perfect game from the Warlock, Owen.
It's been very good for Molly. It really has.
Been really, really good.
If we can safely say this is the best Warlock that we've seen.
That we've seen by far, yeah.
All he knows what he's doing on this hero.
I think it really helps that he's got the gyro, you know, in the lane and everything too, and how well that lane
but he said he didn't feed in the lane. That could have been a lane where he could have died a lot of times, but his positioning's been bang on, Ollie.
I just think it was the thing that he did where he gave the gyro level 3 for level 2 barrage, because then the brew and the bat just can never get close to him. Thought that was really clever. And yeah, we're seeing what's happened because of it. A BKB now finished, so double BKB on the side of Aurora. This next fight looks very difficult for Azure.
Yeah, we see the progress already with this Aegis timing that they've had.
Good game.
We're still with a minute left, and indeed a solid gold lead being grown.
Oh, and even at Lincoln, so they've got triple core item timing. So he actually did not go down the Maelstrom route on Lorinov, so looking to just protect himself instead.
Oh!
Last onto a clock.
Oh, they got him. They got him good. Yeah, Ori and Low. There's not a chance for poor Cure this time.
They got that clockwork. There's a smoke up from behind them, though, so they've got to be pretty careful. Ori, there's a power rune.
Oh, no, not again. Oh, this time he's quicker with the blink. It's the Invis.
He's amped up, though.
There's a missile heading his way, and they'll drop the golem down onto the two of them. See Bark to put the primal split, but 23, he's going to start killing off this split. Bark's got to run. The flat cannon comes out.
I don't think it can run. It's
not getting away. Both of them dead. I mean, any sort of fight that occurs underneath the gyrocopter will be lost.
Well, they got the clockwork. But quite a bit expended to get him, and they even the split just dies in a couple of seconds on. That's the level 2 split, too. So much physical damage coming out from them. 9 stacks of the Grimoire. It's starting to build up. He actually almost has his Greaves, so he looks like he's going to have his before the Chen does, so more and more buff ups, of course, for 23, who is already just continuing to be that beast. So we said you're low, catching up, but this is not one of those games where it feels like he can just do it on his own. Even if he turns into some like Flak 1v5, he needs the help of his allies.
Yeah, is that maybe if 23 wasn't this far ahead?
Yeah.
But he is that far ahead.
Yeah, if maybe they were having like a better game on one of the other two, perhaps. But right now, it's just it's getting rougher and rougher.
Yeah,
it feels.
It's a tough one for Low to carry. I'll see if things maybe settle down a little bit and AZURE get a bit more breathing room now that the Aegis has expired for Aurora.
Yeah, let's see if they can get some pickoffs too, because look at FY's positioning.
I mean, he'd happily take down Ollie. I mean, Ollie, as we say, yet to die this game. Finally, they'll be able to take him out. And Low also the one to pick the kill. So nice stuff here for the Morph.
Good injection of money.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Good positioning there from FY. Feels like it's the first actual pickoff that he was able to find. Because the Clockwork, they got the pickoff, but that one quickly turned into not being worth it. So that pickups here. It was just a shard from Jabs. Yeah, I think he just bought a shard, so. Even more physical damage. Even better ways to kill the Bruise Split as well, too, if he gets the crush onto them. Multiple corrosives and everything like that. So, yeah, continuing just set up 23 for even more success. Gold lead did shrink a little bit, though. So it went from 7 down to 5. That was the Tormentor, probably, I assume, yeah. So.
That's right. I mean, they may look to try and go again once the lasso's back up in about 10 seconds on FY.
He might get caught. There's a ward on him.
Yeah, Jabs is going to find him first. Straight on to FY. FY forcing away. Nice. Jabs will be able to stay on top of him, pop at the BKB to make sure he finishes off the kill. And there will be no Hands of God, at least that's strong enough to be able to save FY.
A couple small things almost actually saves him. The Gossamer Cape dodge, and then Lasso came up at the last second. He almost was actually able to lasso him and perhaps at least maybe buy time or get away or something, but not the case. Jabs finishes him. Get to continue their push. I believe the Daedalus is now done for the Gyrocopter. And he's got his allies now behind him.
And they can take the tier 2. Probably look to hold back and wait for the next Roche and then really go give it another push up to potentially the high ground next time around Aurora.
Yep.
As we'll see very shortly what the Roche spawn status is going to be.
They're setting up.
Yeah, Low, he's already out of it.
They're just going to go for the creeps, they'll settle. Good money on those anyway.
A minute left to the Roche, so...
Pretty decently quick spawn, though.
Yeah, Aurora's going to be happy with that once they find it in a minute. So they'll look to just hold this area. So if they do continue to check the pit, and yeah, once they get that Roche and get that Aegis again, they'll be taking the rest of the outer towers and maybe even looking for the high ground push.
Yeah, absolutely.
With how strong 23 is.
Yeah, and Ori's still a ways away from BKB, so for him, fighting for the Tiny is very difficult into this Warlock, into all this kind of control that he has to deal with without BKB. Even Spirit Vessel, it's a ton of damage that's going to go on him, so he really needs that for the next fight is far enough.
They want to try and fight, but leading the way. Not able to find the grab, though. FY doesn't want to go in for that.
No, and he already used Force Staff, too. And they've seen that Lincoln's for Lorinov for some time now, so they need to be able to break it and then go for it. As he is going to have the Maelstrom now finished almost after that Lincoln's is done. And Roche, yeah, 10 seconds, so. Looks like they maybe just want to pressure the map instead of look to contest this Roshan, because it's pretty difficult. Once they started, it dies so fast.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Say 2 seconds. Oh, Ali just left the pit, and it spawns right after.
Tower is under attack.
So far, so Azure getting some good timing to be able to farm here. Get tier 2 mid, tier 1 bot, get some bounty runes too. So getting some gold. Now that Roche will get scouted. But a pretty decent amount. I mean, just continuing to see that gold go down and down and down. Azure getting very good farm on the map during this downtime. Ori will actually probably have the BKB for the next fight too.
Yeah, the high ground defense should be pretty strong. So we get tossed back.
They have, excuse me, they have great ways to just pop heroes too. They have the double condas, right? So
that's a lot of burst.
A ton. Wait a minute. Am I seeing this wrong?
What have we got?
Is it just mine? Like, look at the Morphling skill build. Is this the new skill build?
You're the expert, Pop.
I don't think I've seen that. Maybe.
No, I don't play this here. It's got too many buttons.
I thought, especially with Conda, doesn't that make your Conda not as useful with the adaptive strike kind of thing? Whatever. Not a Morphling player. But I'm pretty sure I've seen at least the adaptive most times, right? But whatever, someone will call me stupid, but your cast range is also underwhelming when you have level 1 of it. But, oh well. They're getting a push started.
Maybe there's just like a Rubik that's not in the game, but he's just like, I can't don't let him steal this spell. I better not level it. It must be something. It's some sort of morphing tech that we're not in.
Probably just because he was jungling so much to just fully catch up, and then now he's got the Conda, so now he'll start leveling them.
Well, we'll see. Will he? We'll see what Lowe's going to do.
I imagine he has to start skilling up the active strike. Okay,
yeah.
That makes sense. So he was waiting for the condo to be able to put points in it. Okay. I'm cool with this then.
Okay. I mean, because, yeah, he's not fighting, right?
No,
it's just all
he
farm.
was just farming.
All farm.
And if he was fighting, he was turning into other heroes. So
that's true.
That's actually pretty cool. Pretty
just
cool.
Yeah, min-maxing to the max.
But you definitely want max adaptive strike when you have your condo. So it's a little bit weird that he doesn't have it maxed up with the condo, but whatever.
No, he just wants to farm. He's like, avoid the fights.
Fair enough.
Continue to try and close this gap between himself and 23. And then turn up, when he's got his BKB, Satanic, and when he's got the max points in adaptive.
Sure. Cool. Oh, he's like just looking at something. I feel like a lot of players
they are slowing down the game, right? Even when Aurora's kind of got this Aegis and Cheese, now they'll try and go for the high ground. So this is going to be the real test for AZURE, how well they can deal with this pressure. Because now the pressure's coming in, Lowe's probably going to have to turn up and try and help do something about it. Yeah.
Up to pop a glyph, but they're going to look to keep forcing here with this gyro on high ground. He's got a heal too.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Jabs. He has headed back.
Yeah, they'll push him back. Looks like Bach was able to cut that bottom wave.
And Jabs is going to start messing around with Lowe. Lowe's going to go for the TP, but the bash is there. Jabs is able to just chase him down.
He cannot get away.
Is there any sort of crazy play he can make?
I mean, no. Running away, but it's not possible.
Uh-oh. Well, he's dead for a minute, Lowe. No buyback on him.
Huge. I mean, absolutely massive from Jabs.
Yeah, Jabs.
Literally just been, he's been 0-0-3. He's been farming quietly the whole game. That is a long time that he's dead. 50 seconds, 23 with an amp damage. They're going to just run it down. There's no glyph. They could just look to run. Oh, actually, they have to take tier 2 mid and then maybe just walk bottom or maybe just force mid because they don't have a wave bottom. And right now, it's just 23 in the mid lane alone, so.
I mean, he's chilling. He's like, what are they going to do about him?
Yeah, he can do this.
Like, they can't do anything about him. He's got amplified damage rune. He's heading up to the high ground on his own.
Yeah, FY's like, guys, our base. Toss back.
Oh, here we go.
Do they have the lasso at the fountain?
They got the lasso, but the BKB was out, so no follow-up magical damage or control. Now 23 is able to turn over towards Auroran. He's able to start healing up. The flat cannon's killing him off.
But he's under tier 4.
They'll get him once.
That's the one. Another toss back. Let's go.
Let's have a look. Ori. Can you get the catch? Yes, he can. He's able to get the toss back. They have the damage, though. As Ori put that toss back, he's probably going to lose his life. He's definitely going to lose his life. And
23's fine.
He's perfectly fine. As low as he goes, just about down to half his HP, that's as bad as it gets for him. 23 doesn't care at all. He's back on with the push. He's happy to lose his Aegis like that.
It was a cool attempt. At the least they tried it.
And they're looking to end. I mean, 3 heroes dead. There's a buyback on Bach, but no buyback available on Ori or FY.
No. Lornoff just controlling them as well, too. Crimson Guard to at least stall things, but the Rax is dropping. This is such a clean game from Aurora.
Yeah. Oh, and 23's Gyro just...
beast.
It looks like a pretty free game for him when he gets a good start.
And the two supports just kind of did a lot of the early moves to be able to enable both this Slardar and this Gyrocopter just have this absolutely free game. Honestly, like, Lornoff kind of got to chill a bit on this Ember Spirit, it felt like. He had some great slight change to just, like, kind of stall things, and he did control the Tiny well, but overall, yeah. Great game plan from Aurora.
For sure. I mean, and from AZURE, I don't know if sort of this Chen approach really worked, you know, kind of overall for the style that they wanted to try and play. Just felt like Xiaoming wasn't able to do a lot in this era of this game.
I think they thought this bottom lane was going to go a lot better.
Yeah.
Because it was a disaster, really.
Yeah, 2 quick deaths to start it off, and yeah, easy start for them. Also, we'll see on the replay again this. Ori, he was doing what he needed to do, right? Gets the first toss back with the lasso as well, dragging him in pretty deep. Unfortunately, not quite deep enough to sort of hold him in a position where they could have looked for a fountain toss back on his second life. But at this point, you know, sure, you're able to take 23 down once.
They passed him the cheese, too. I was going to try to point that one out earlier, but it was Jabs who blinked and gave him cheese anyway. He didn't have to use it, but it was just in cases. They will pick off Jabs.
They will. So, you know, high value killer. I mean, he was just saying that, you know, Jabs for the whole game. He's been doing a lot.
Yep.
He's been, I think he's got the highest kill involvement on the team, right? Yeah, he's been involved in 13 of the kills. So most of the stuff has been down to Jabs.
Yep.
But unfortunately, this next minute, they're going to have to play without him. And in a bit of a turn of events, it's now AZURE that are outside the base of Aurora.
But they do have to be careful.
I don't know how much they can push.
Let's see, they get some toss backs.
Ollie. He's gone.
The gyro's turned up.
And this is probably the point where they've got to start to run. As AZURE, they'll back off, they'll respect 23.
Not bad, though. Got the Warlock.
And quick moves as well. The fact that they kind of get that kill on Jabs and suddenly they're starting to actually be able to threaten the base a little bit against a team that's 13k ahead.
Yeah, and they reset themselves. As long as they're rallied around the Chen with all his auras, seem like they do still have good damage. They just can't get picked off. And Bach is level 18. We have yet to see them actually do like a 5v5 coordinated fight here for
They're going to try and go for one, or at least try and go for a fight where Aurora don't have everybody back up.
Oh, they're just smoking back, it looks like, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess they are. They were kind of umming and ahhing about it.
Yeah, I saw Morph TP. I'm like, yeah, their base is not in a good spot for them. Yeah. Wanted to attempt for it, but can't. 23 Butterflies finished up. Another huge power spike, of course, for him. A pipe also finished up on the clockwork. I believe that was a couple minutes ago, but a couple more big timings, of course. 1 minute left for that Roche. 23 still just hanging on to that cheese in his backpack just in case of things. And Golem is back up. So they've got the way to protect these cores to be able to go for that final Rax push if they'd like to. They probably don't need to wait for this Roshan. Satanic and the cheese, of course, on this gyro, so can look to force the issue. And Glyph is on cooldown. Bach scouting with the Ags. Breaking. They broke the Lincolns that was passed from Lorinov. Go for a toss back.
That's a good toss back. Well, the BKB's out for 23. Look at the lasso as well. They're trying to drag him in as deep as they can. He's only gone down to about 75% HP. 23. Now he gets caught at the end of the BKB. Not bad with the flame break. Again, I mean, Lowe's trying to burst him, focus him down as this small fling. Can they get him? They can. They've killed 23.
But Ollie just killed everybody.
I mean, he is. It's a triple kill for the Warlock. They put everything into taking down this gyrocopter, but they end up losing their own lives. All three of their cores dying to the Warlock.
Another toss.
So what they can do here, I mean, he's coming with the buyback, Ori. So Jabs and Lorinov and Ollie, they're in on top of him.
They do a lot of damage.
I think he's going down again. Crush into a bash, he's out. So die back on Ori. Aurora diving in for more.
GG.
And indeed, it's there. GG is called. Aurora taking this game one. And they look very good doing it, Fog. This was a very good play. And I think shout out to Ollie on the Warlock.
Absolutely.
He broke the curse.
He broke our curse.
And we keep seeing Warlock lose when we